Since we are giving our blessings, how about you blessing me with Candace Bentley after the program has ended? I would love to have that Bentley.
All right, haves and have not fans. Tomorrow is the big day, the beginning of the end, the beginning of the final stretch of episodes we have before the series comes to a close. So, before going forward in the video, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. We are less than 30 people away from 175,000 subscribers. Honestly, I'm probably going to edit and post this video immediately and then go to sleep. So by the time I wake up, we should be at 175,000. But in the event I decide not to edit this video because it's almost 2 a.m. I haven't been up this late in well over a week. You know, I'll I'll post it soon enough. But in any case, follow me on social media. Links are in the description. And hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content to the channel. Now, just here, here is a little snippet towards the ending of the Haves and Have-Nots Final Temptation special. And I have to say, this was probably one of my favorite fan moments from the special. And no, not myself. This isn't about me. This was a super fan towards the end, and it's relevant to what I have to say in the video. So I'm going to show this little clip, and then I'll come right back.
The one message I have for Mr. Tyler Perry: if Candace and Charles don't end up together, I'm gonna find you, and we're gonna have to have us a nice conversation because they belong together. And if you don't make sure that happen, I'm gonna be pissed, sir.
All right, guys, as you can see, I feel like this, and I'm going to use the term super fan. It's like her name and location, I believe, popped up on screen, but I feel like super fan is the correct terminology. I feel like out of anybody, her in terms of emotional drive or connection to these characters, I feel like was the number one for the entire special. But I think it's plain as day that she speaks for an enormous amount of the fan base who want Candace and Charles to be in game, in relationship goals, whatever the correct term you want to use. But I just want to say that I'll probably title this video something along the lines of will Candace receive a presidential pardon or something along those lines? Because think of it this way. There are only 8 episodes left. You all know me by now. I'm a stickler for continuity, finishing up finishing up plot points, but it's been well over a year. I've fully embraced the fact that based on how If Loving You Is Wrong ended and whatnot, it is possible that the show isn't going to wrap everything up, despite the promotions for the show really kind of reassuring fans that everything that we've watched up until this point has been building up to the ending. And I want to believe that, but when we've been disappointed so many times, I mean, think about people who watch House of Pain from the beginning to the end, and we saw how it ended. It was a dramatic ending cliffhanger, but look how long it took for us to get the show back, and when it did come back, it was trash. The Pains. Then House of Pain came back on BET. It was trash. Now we just started season 10, and it's off to a semi-decent start. So when it comes to the haves and the have-nots, Too Close to Home, right when the show was getting good, they cut it off. If Loving You Is Wrong, I already mentioned how that show ended. So I feel like when it comes to the haves and the have-nots, it would really suck to have everything just not be resolved. But 8 episodes, wasn't there an old TV show called 8 is Enough? In this case, 8 is definitely not enough. But I'll say this much: I would be very disappointed if Candace does get a pardon and then gets everything she wants. I mean, it just, to me, Loki, the series on Disney Plus is coming out. I think it's next week now. Yeah, I think it's next week. I don't really know for sure, to be honest. Yeah, because they moved it from Fridays to Wednesdays. So June 9th, the same night Sisters comes on, um, Loki is going to be debuting on Disney Plus. No, wait. Technically, Loki will be coming on at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and the Sisters will be coming on at night. Well, you know what I mean. And you know how Loki, girls love them. So Loki, oh, he's not evil. He's just misunderstood, despite the fact that he's killed people, wanted to commit, genocide on Earth using Thanos' army and whatnot. And it's like you eventually see him redeemed as the movies go on. But the thing is, he's still evil, or at the very least, he committed a lot of violent crimes and whatnot. And I think the same thing about, Veronica and Candace. I've been saying this for years. Some people drug me for it. Other people agree with me. My thing is, I'm not the police when it comes to regulating who you are allowed to like as a character in one franchise or another. But this channel is about healthy discussion. Whether or not we agree or disagree, just having a good discussion makes the channel and conversation worthwhile. But I just cannot stand going back and forth or even trying to hold a conversation with someone who has like a blind allegiance to someone or something. It's like, I'm a Candace fan, she's the best, yada yada yada, but it's like, well, she did this, this, and this. Basically, because that person is your favorite character, that's okay. But what's annoying is when you become blind to their flaws. When it's like, oh, she could do no wrong. Okay, she beat up this person, they deserved it. She sent this person to kill that person, she deserves it. And the conversation goes on and on and on. But I think for me, if Candace gets a happy ending, I feel like that completely destroys the character we met in season 1. Now, don't get me wrong. We're in I'm calling it season 9. What we're getting tomorrow, personally, I'm just going to call it season 9. I know it's probably going to be still season 8. I'm calling it 9, and I'll leave it at that. But obviously, it shouldn't be realistic to expect a character to be the same as they were in the first season as, let's say, season 9, unless you're watching a show with very bad writing. But I don't really see where... Okay, I'm not going to say that Candace hasn't learned her lesson, because damn near every time she's lost everything from blackmail, extortion, or what have you, whenever she's down on her luck, she's at her mama's house. And then she'll have a conversation with either Benny, or hell, she's even talked with Erica about this, back in the past, where she remembers everything her mother has ever said about things, what goes around comes around, maybe I should start doing the right thing. But she'll decide to choose the hustler life time and time again, leading to even more negative results. So it's not that she is deaf to her mother's warnings, but at the same time, just because you turned over a new leaf, that was an episode title, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're, as Black Widow told Loki, my ledger is covered in red. That doesn't mean your past is clean. Now, don't get me wrong, through the power of Christ, and faith, your sins will be forgiven. But just because God forgives you doesn't mean the people you wronged will necessarily forgive you. So you just look at all the enemies Candace has made. And even though I have no earthly idea if what's his name, Scott and Kyle are supposed to appear in the final episodes, the attorney general and then the one guy that works for him. And the last time we seen them, it's like, yeah, we got to kill Candace Young. And I'm like, oh, damn. But then we haven't seen him in damn near over a year. And it's like, oh, wait, yeah, that was a plot point. So I feel like there are going to be a lot of notable characters. It's going to be like Julius, Pete, just the number of characters from If Loving You Is Wrong who are missing. I feel like we're going to get the same thing in the haves and the have-nots this final batch of episodes, where it's like, okay, yeah, Tony with the kidney, doubt we're ever going to see him again. Weren't we supposed to meet, what's his name, William, who is Jeffrey's real father? I feel like there's going to be so much. Here's how I think this can end. Honestly, I know this video feels like it's kind of all over the place, but I didn't want to do like 2 or 3 videos, because I've already done videos on the subject of how do I think the season's going to end and things like that. I feel like what will happen is that perhaps the first 3 to 6 episodes will be the standard pacing of a haves and have-nots season, where things just move. Like the episode might move in certain places, but not a lot is being accomplished. Like this person will be talking to that person, then they'll be over here doing this and rinse and repeat. But I would hate if, let's say, the last 1 or 2 episodes, or even worse, the last episode alone, does its best to cram so much within the time limit of, like, let's say 39 to 43 minutes. Like that last episode is going to be batshit crazy, but it's going to feel so rushed. It's like, okay, I remember this storyline from season 3. We need to resolve. We need to take care of the Malones. Tony with the kidney. Will Benny keep the house? Who's going to make it to the end of the line? Will Catherine get out of jail? There are just so many things that I honestly don't think will get any kind of a nod to. Not a resolution, but just somebody mentioning a certain storyline. Like, like I said before, even though I don't buy what Wyatt said about killing Amanda, even if that is true, which I still think is bullcrap, the only person that heard it was George, who we haven't seen since he basically dismissed Wyatt because he was no use to him at all. It's just like, well, Catherine and Jim didn't know about that, that Wyatt said he killed Amanda. Not to mention David was the only one Jennifer Salison told that, she was looking into the investigation about the murder because it wasn't a suicide. I just feel like as the years went on, there are some things, I guess even us diehard fans were meant to accept that Tyler Perry either forgot or he just chose to never bring up again. I mean, I feel like we kind of got a rejuvenated faith in that he actually does remember stuff, and he brings it up when Wyatt brought up Catherine's cancer, because we hadn't heard hide or hair of that since like season 2. But when it comes to Candace, I feel like she's a character who does not deserve a happy ending at all. I mean, that's almost as if, let's say we're watching Snow White and the hunter actually went through and killed Snow White. And then the evil queen got everything she wanted at the end of the film by becoming the fairest in the land. It's like that character doesn't deserve to get what she wants because of the means she got, or excuse me, the means she went through to get her end goal. It's like, what message does that send if Tyler Perry allows Candace to have a happy ending? She gets a presidential pardon, for killing Oscar and, all of her various crimes and blackmail and extortion. And she just goes into the White House like nothing ever happened. Now, would that be a nod to the former president and the numerous times he was almost impeached or charged with this and that because of past and current actions? Possibly. I could see Tyler Perry doing that. But at the same time, it just doesn't sit well with me because I feel like it diminishes the entire foundation of what the haves and the have-nots was supposed to teach. I mean, to become a have-not and then a have, does it matter what it takes for you to get there? Which I feel is a complete reverse of the numerous times where Candace was a have, but then became a have-not again because, as Hannah always says, things gotten through ill-gotten means will go away quicker than how you got them. So for fans, I know that Charles and Candace would be a great combo to see in the end, but who is Candace pregnant by? Who's the father of the child? And not to mention, let's say if Charles isn't the father, would he accept the baby? Or would this go down an even darker path? Would Landon or Charles make Candace get an abortion? I'm just saying, like, this really isn't adding up. I mean, unless we get some sort of epilogue or these episodes move hella fast, I don't think there's going to be a satisfying ending for anybody. But then again, I know some people who say they don't care what happens as long as Candace and Charles get together. They don't care. But for me, I feel like that's just a slap in the face. But you know me, as soon as that last episode airs, I feel like regardless as to whether or not I'm happy or I'm ticked off, I know I'm going to have a lot to say about it. But for Charles and Candace to get together, I still don't like it. I just feel like there's it just doesn't sit well with me. Yes, Landon did his best to clear up her past, but remember, as soon as she went to the White House, all these people who she had conned had come out of the woodworks to basically drag her name through the mud. And yes, Landon did a good job of recovering from that, but with the likes of Oliver and Akil and other people trying to get Candace, I think that just like Benny in that house in Rihanna, things might seemingly be going well for a time, but give it a couple episodes and it's all going to fall apart. So that's all I have to say for this particular video, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.